Do you want to buy properties for pennies on the dollar with tax liens? This video is for you. I've done just that. I'm not going to say it's easy or that happens quick, but I will say it is probably one of the fastest ways to build equity in purchasing real estate, because you can indeed buy properties for pennies on the dollar at your local tax sale. It's taken me over 2 years, but I've finally cleaned up the title work on properties that I purchased for hundreds, yes, hundreds, not thousands of dollars, including complete houses. I'm going to walk you through that in this video or series of videos or whatever it ends up being. So if you want to know where you find these properties, how you go to the tax sale, how you clean up the title work, this video and the next ones are going to be for you. So please, if this interests you, drop me a comment with any questions that you still have after watching this video. Also, there's some links down below for things that I've found to be helpful or useful in this process. So please give this video a like, subscribe to this channel, and leave me a comment for any other questions that you have, because buying tax sale properties and cleaning up the title work is a complex process, but it's something that you can definitely do, because I did it. You can too. So please comment below, questions, subscribe, like. First of all, what is a tax sale? So you pay your taxes on your property. When taxes get delinquent by a certain amount of time, depending on the municipality where they're at, once they've reached a certain state of delinquency, these properties will then be auctioned off for sale. So you can either get a deed auction in some states, or you can get a lien auction in other states. What we're talking about here is a lien. So for example, what I'm doing is when these properties have delinquent taxes and they're so delinquent that they finally go up for sale, the bidding starts at the price of the back taxes. There's bidding at an auction. The winner takes a lien on that property. That lien can either be paid back with interest to the lien holder, or the lien holder can file for a collector's deed on the property. That's what I did in the properties that we'll be talking about in this video. Nobody redeemed the back taxes on the property, so I then redeemed the property, got a collector's deed, and then in the case of one of the properties, had to clean up a significant amount of title work, so that way I could have a marketable title where I can now rent or resell the property. So that's what is a tax lien. How do you invest in tax liens? Next thing is, where do I find these delinquent tax properties and how do I purchase them? So the delinquent tax list is going to be published by the county that's having the tax sale at a specified date. So you'll need to get with your county collector and go to your county collector's website, and on the county collector's website you should be able to find the date, time, and location of the tax sale. Some tax sales, such as in Arizona, Pensacola, Florida, places like that, the tax sale is actually conducted online. So you can bid on these delinquent tax properties from anywhere in the world. Other places, the tax sale is conducted at the courthouse. So once you've found the collector for the location where you're looking to invest, you've narrowed down when and where the tax sale is going to take place. Now you can start doing your due diligence on the properties that are going to be offered up for sale. On that same collector's website, or on that same collector's website, or somewhere at the collector's office, you should be able to find the date that the delinquent tax property list is going to be published. Once this delinquent tax property list comes out, you can then go through the delinquent properties, determine how much you're willing to bid on each of the delinquent properties. Also, it's important to find out that how these properties are going to be listed at the auction. So for example, the auction won't necessarily go through the address of each property or even the tax ID of each property. They may have a unique number that they're utilizing to auction off each property. So you want to know how they're going to reference the property at the auction so you know which one you're bidding on, because that could be a problem. For example, I thought that they were going to use the addresses when I showed up to my first auction, and they ended up using a unique ID number. Fortunately, I was able to get somebody to share the list of ID numbers with me so I could bid on the properties we're going to talk about in this video. Moving on. Now we've been to the tax sale, we've bid on the properties, we've walked away with our tax liens on the properties that we won the bids. Now comes paperwork, and more paperwork, and more paperwork. We've got to make sure that we notify anyone who could possibly have an interest in the property that we've purchased a tax lien on the property, and notify them for their rights to redeem. This is where you definitely want to educate yourself, because this is where you'll either get burned or you'll make your money. Make sure to review your state statutes on the requirements for notification. I would highly suggest talking to a lawyer who's well versed in those statutes to give you some advice on how you can best make sure that you comply with not just the written law, but also with case law regarding notifications of the tax liens. This is where it's worth it to spend some money, to spend some time with somebody who knows your specific state statutes to make sure that you conduct these notifications correctly. Once you get all of these notifications out and you wait whatever established timeline is required, you can now file for a collector's deed. I went to the courthouse and I did just that. Let's check it out. All right, so we're out here braving the rain to go into the courthouse to file some of our paperwork. We gotta get our collector's deeds, because now the tax lien sale's over. We've paid all the delinquent back taxes. We've given proper notification to the tenants, to the occupants. Now we've got to come in here and we've got to go into the courthouse to get our collector's deeds. If you never try to get stuff done in a small town, you got to realize sometimes lunchtime's important. So I came at 12:15. Not the best choice. People are lunch. Lunch is important, you know. So might be a little difficult to get stuff done if you come during lunchtime. Once you've gotten everything in place, now it's time. If there's any unwelcome inhabitants in that house, you gotta get them out. Let's talk about it. Update on the tax sale. Yesterday, spent the day in court getting an unlawful detainer judgment. What does that mean? All right, so unlawful detainer. We finished the tax sale. We have a tax collector's deed to the property. So Two Common Properties, my LLC, now owns the property. But there's people living in the property. So you can't just go over there and kick people out of a house. So you have to go to court. You have to show the judge that we lawfully own this property. There are people living in the property that don't lawfully belong there, and we need to get them out. So by going to court yesterday and getting an unlawful detainer suit, getting a judgment, we now have the court saying that those persons no longer have a right to be residing in the house. So how can this work out? It works out in a couple different ways. They have to be out by Friday of this week. If they are out by Friday, I have possession of the house. Not a big deal. If they are not out by Friday, at that point, we have to file our unlawful detainer judgment with the sheriff, and then the sheriff will go physically remove people from the property. So, tax sale, collector's deed, unlawful detainer. Stay tuned. Now you know how to find delinquent tax sale properties, how to contact the people knowledgeable about that tax sale. Once you've purchased a delinquent tax lien, the basics of where you need to go to file your paperwork so that way you can get your collector's deed or take possession of your property. Also, how we took possession of the property, and now you have a property that's ready to sell or rent that you picked up for pennies on the dollar. If this video was helpful for you, please like and subscribe. Also, if you have additional questions, because there's tons of questions to be asked about this only scratches the surface, please feel free to ask them down below, and I'll either reply with a comment or post a subsequent video and the link to it on this channel. If you turn on notifications whenever I drop more knowledge about ways that you can be successful in real estate investing, those videos will come straight to you. So please like, subscribe, check out the links below, comment, and I will see you next time.